All right, welcome back everybody. If you have been curious about BOI reporting and you haven't been sure if this is something you want to do yourself or if you want to outsource it to somebody else, what I'm going to do today is walk you through exactly what you need to know and show you the actual screenshots where you need to go to step through the process of doing your own BOI reporting. So I'm going to register the new business that I just formed. And so I'm going to walk through all of the steps, and there's going to be one beneficial owner in this example that I have for you. And this should be pretty painless overall. That's what I want for you. Make this all like super easy, clear, easy to follow. So that's what we like to do here on this channel, is to help you with everything in your small business related to finances and compliance that will help your life be a little bit easier and also easier to understand. So if that is helpful and you like the idea of having that type of content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are on a mission to reach 100,000 subscribers, which I am super, super thankful. I know a lot of people who watch this channel are not subscribed. So if we had all of those people who have watched the channel actually subscribed, we would be around 800,000. We don't have a very high percentage of people who are watching versus subscribing. So I would love to have you here as a subscriber, and it would certainly help out the channel as well. So let's get into it now. I'm gonna walk you guys through how to do your very own BOI reporting. And with doing that, we're going to start out with making sure we get to the right URL first. So I'm going to put it here. It is FinCEN, FinCEN.gov/BOI. Okay, so go to the right spot. Do not Google it. Do not Google BOI reporting, because you will get all the ads for services that you can pay to do this for you. But if you go directly to the FinCEN website, you do not have to pay to file this report. And then once you file it, it's perpetual unless you have ownership changes, and then you would have to update your record. I didn't mention that in the last video, but that is important for you to know, that once you do it, unless any beneficial ownership information changes, you just have to do it once. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into the screen share, and I will walk you guys through how to file your BOI report. So remember, in order to file your BOI reporting in the right place and to do it for free directly on the government website, you go to FinCEN.gov/BOI. So we're gonna go there. You can obviously navigate there from the home page, but this is the easiest way to go. And then once you get here, beneficial ownership information, you're going to go to this file. If you want to learn a little bit more, you can go through this prepare section over here and do a deep dive. If you're more the type of person that wants to read everything before you go through it, you can absolutely do that. And then when you are ready, you can go to file a report over here. And then when you get here, we are going to go to the Get Started. You can also click here. It takes you to the same place down here, File BOIR, or you can do it up here. I'm going to click this one, Get Started. And so you can do a PDF version. We're not going to do that. I want to take you guys directly through the online portal. So we're going to go to the web, file online BOIR, and prepare and submit the BOIR. I'm going to agree. You're entering a U.S. government information system maintained, administered, and operated by the U.S. Treasury. You can read that. Okay, so here we are on the first page of this report. So the first thing that we're going to do is say, what type of filing is it? So I'm going to take my brand new business that I started in 2024, and I'm going to walk through the steps here. So I will point out a couple things that might be different if you had an existing business before 2024, but basically this will be, for any new business started in 2024 and beyond. These are the steps that you would take. Only a few exceptions if you started before 2024. So what type of filing? I'm going to click Initial Report, because that's what it is. You can also correct a prior report and update a prior report, or if you have an exempt entity, you would put that in here, a newly exempt entity. So maybe you did file and then now you are exempt. You could go in here and update that. One thing to keep in mind with the BOI reporting is really you do it and it is valid until something changes that would maybe add a new beneficial owner or something different. So this is kind of a one-time thing for most of us. Once we start our businesses, we're not going to have a lot of ownership or changes in who is that beneficial owner. So you just do this once and then hopefully you don't have to change it again. But if maybe like you take on a partner eventually, or your business changes in transition of who is the beneficial owner, then you would need to go in here and update that at some point in time. So I'm going to go ahead, and this date is prepared because today is 10/23. So that's when it's auto-populated here. And then there is going to be just Privacy Act information here. So you can go and read that if you would like to, and then click next. I'm going to go ahead and request to receive a FinCEN ID. You can also not if you don't want to. And then you can also read with these little question marks anything that you are concerned about or you have questions on. You can go and read an additional information. Now, this is not a foreign pooled investment vehicle, so I'm going to skip that one. And then I'm going to go here, and this is about the reporting company. So we're in the reporting company section. I'm going to now go in and put what is the legal name of my business that I just registered with the Secretary of State. So I am going to do that. And I'm just going to go ahead for my own privacy, just blur out all of this information. So you know, when it says legal name, that is what is on your legal documents when you originally formed your company with the Secretary of State. So if you need to go back and find your Secretary of State filings and make sure that matches word for word, letter for letter, go ahead and do that so you have that here. And then also if you have a DBA name, doing business as. I don't have a DBA name, and if you have an alternate name, you can add more. Then we're going to go and put in the form of identification. So this is going to be your company's ID. Now, in my case, I just created a new tax ID number. So I'm going to put in my EIN, and we do have a video on how to get an EIN if you need that. You might potentially be an LLC still operating under your own social security number. So that's an option. You might have that as well. Or if you have a foreign number, you would put that in here. So in my case, and most of our cases, we're going to have an EIN number. And so you will want to go ahead and type that in now. And you only need to put in the country or jurisdiction if it is a foreign tax ID. And then you'll also need to go ahead and tell them where you have first registered your business. So in what country or jurisdiction. So in this situation, since I formed in the United States, I'm going to go ahead and click for United States of America. And then the state is Washington State. So I'm going to go find Washington State. And then I do not have a tribal jurisdiction of formation, and I obviously not a tribe, so that is blank. And then you'll need a current US address. So this is the address registered to your business. And once you've filled all of that out, you can go ahead and click next. So next we need to look at the company applicants. And this part right here is important whether you have been operating before January 1st, 2024, or if you were operating after January 1st, 2024. So if your business was existing before January 1st, 2024, you click this box and then you do not need to answer anything else in this company applicants page. Okay. So that's one of the good things about being a company that has been registered before January 1st, 2024 is that you actually don't need to report the company applicants. So what is a company applicant? So a company applicant is a person, an individual who applied for your business registration. So the person who actually did it for you, which would, could potentially be an agent. More likely than not, it's going to be the actual business owner who registered their business directly. It could be a lawyer, it could be an agent, it could be the individual themselves. So whoever did that original application, you're going to need to put in their information if you've started your business after January 1st, 2024. Okay. So in my case, I cannot check this box because my new company was started in 2024. So I need to walk through all of these next steps. So let's go through that. So the first thing is company applicant, FinCEN ID. I do not have one of those. So if you do not have one, you just skip over that. The next thing that would need to be put in is legal name and date of birth. So I'm going to put in my information because I was the one who actually applied for my registration with the Secretary of State to set up my new LLC. And then you'll put in the address of that individual. And this is where you need to put in your form of identification. So in this case, I'm going to use a passport. You can also use a state-issued driver's license, a state, local, or tribe-issued ID, a U.S. passport, or a foreign passport. I'm going to use a U.S. passport. And then you need to upload that document. So I've uploaded my passport, an image, and it gives you some qualifications of what type of image you can use. A JPEG, a PNG, or a PDF, all are okay. And you just need the front side of that. And then you would click Next. And then you're going to go through, this is where you need to look at who is a beneficial owner for the business. So you can go back and look at the last video that we talked about, who would be a beneficial owner. In my situation, the beneficial owner is just me because I am the owner, operator, everything, the person in controlling interest for this business. So I will be the only beneficial owner and will only be entering in that one beneficial owner. So I do not need to put this as a parent or guardian instead of a minor child. And I am not an exempt entity. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my name here as the beneficial owner. And my date of birth. And then I'll go ahead and put in the address, residential address. And then we're going to do the same thing with the document type. So same thing, we're going to use the same US passport. And I'm going to upload that file. All right, so here we are in the final page. This is where we just need to put in our information to get a confirmation of the submission. So directly after submission, a processing page will be displayed, followed by a page confirming the status of your report. The confirmation page will also give you an opportunity to download a transcript for your records. Okay, so I'm going to put in my email here. And then you do need to certify that you are authorized to file this BOIR on behalf of the reporting company. And then lastly, there is a little CAPTCHA here that you need to do, and then submit your BOIR. All right, we have a filing successful here. I can download the transcript. I'm going to do that and save it for my records. And then I am done. I am compliant. I'm going to avoid the fees that come along with not being compliant to this. Remember that there are fees every day up to $10,000 if you do not comply. Remember as well that if you are a business that has been formed before January 1st, 2024, you have until January 1st, 2025. If you formed within 2024 at some point in time, you had 90 days to comply. And then after January 1, 2025, you have 30 days to register with FinCEN and do the BOI reporting. Hopefully that's been helpful. Really pretty straightforward. If you have a more complicated structure and you have questions, feel free to reach out to somebody. A lot of lawyers, business lawyers will do this. If you have an agent that you already use that does your Secretary of State filings, you could potentially ask them to do it. CPAs will also be, some of them have also been interested in helping businesses with this. So, reach out to a legal or a tax professional. They would likely have this information and could walk you through this if you have any questions. However, I think for most of us, if you're a single owner, this should be pretty straightforward. Go and grab your Secretary of State filing and then make sure that you have copies of your ID so you can do this pretty seamlessly and smoothly. And then you have it done. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this is helpful. Talk to you later.